Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Dima, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you how to make a throw pillow. So if this is your first time here, do well to subscribe to the channel and like this video. Don't forget also to leave me a comment in the comment section, and if you're a returning subscriber, you're especially welcome. In today's video I'm going to be using this material here to make a throw pillow. These include the throw pillow insert and the throw pillow itself. So if this is something you'd like to learn, stay with me and let's dive right into the video. To do this, you first determine the size you want your throw pillow to be at the end. So for me, I want it to be around 16 by 16 inches when I'm done. And you should note that the throw pillow insert should be slightly larger than the throw pillow cover, so that at the end you have a very good result. So I'm just going to go ahead to fold this material into two, which is what I'm going to be using for the throw pillow insert, and I'm just going to iron it out so that it will be straight. After the ironing, I will go straight to taking my measurement. As you can see, I folded it into two. The side facing me is on fold, so let's go ahead and do this. The size I'm going to be using for this throw pillow insert is 18 by 18 inches. So I went ahead to mark the 18 inches for the length. I mark it severally so that I'll get a straight line. And after doing that, I connected the lines I have with my ruler. I also went ahead to mark a line that indicates where I will be starting my measurement from for the wideness. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm working with 18 by 18 inches, so the same 18 inches I mark for the length, I mark it also for the wideness, like you can see. I also went ahead to add 1 inches for the sewing allowance. This is for the wideness. Then for the length, I added ½ inches because the side facing me is on fold, so I don't have to add any sewing allowance for that. And I went ahead to connect all the lines with my ruler. The next thing to do is to cut it out with my scissors. After doing that, I went ahead to determine the midpoint, and I make a mark there. Then I went in and out with 2½ inches on both sides. This is where I'm going to be stuffing my fiber from. And then I went ahead to mark out the ½ inches for on both sides for the sewing allowance. Remember, the size we're working with is 18 by 18 inches. Then I connect the lines with my ruler. After doing that, then I went ahead to hold it down with my office pin before going to the sewing machine to sew it. Note that the line I marked earlier is where I'm going to be stuffing my fiber in. In that case, I won't sew that place. And this is how it look when I'm done sewing. I went ahead to notch the edges with scissors, then turn it over to the right side. You can use a very sharp something to pull out the edges after turning. You can see it has open, so I'll just go ahead to stuff in my fiber from the opening I made earlier. Ensure you stuff in enough fiber into the throw pillow insert. If you watch this video to this point, please go ahead to hit on that subscribe button. Also turn on your notifications so you'll be the first to know when next I upload a video. Note that subscription is absolutely free and doesn't cost any money. It's just a one click away. Make sure to push in fibers to the edges of this insert. After stuffing in the fiber, I will go ahead to make a top stitch from the opening that I stuffed the fiber in from. And this is the way it's looking after that. So the next thing to do now is to go ahead and cut the throw pillow cover with this material I have here. Like you can see, I folded it into two as well, with right side facing each other. It's just the same way I cut the first one, which is the throw pillow insert, so it's nothing different. The only difference in here is the size. For this throw pillow cover, I'm going to be working with 16 by 16 inches for the length and for the width. So I went ahead to mark the 16 inches on both sides. Then I connected the lines with my ruler. After that, I went out with 1 inch for the sewing allowance, ½ inch on both sides, and for the length I added ½ inch because the other side is in a fold, so I don't need to sew it. And then I went ahead to cut it with my scissors. After cutting it, I went ahead to mark the ½ inch I have for the sewing allowance on both sides. After that, the next thing to do is to attach my zipper. If you don't know how to attach a zipper, or if you're finding it difficult to do it, I'm going to make a video on that subsequently. Then I pin it with my office pin so it will be easier for me to sew. As a beginner, you have to pin at every point in time. In that way you won't be struggling with your fabric when sewing. But if you're already a professional, that means you can do it with your free hand and it won't be a problem for you. But as a beginner, it's advisable you always do that. Office pin is not something that is very expensive, it's affordable, and this is how it's looking when I'm done attaching my zipper. So the next thing to do now is to put my throw pillow inside the throw pillow cover. Yes, our throw pillow is ready. I hope you're able to get something from this tutorial. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section, or if there's a particular video you would like me to share next. Thank you so very much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.